You ever notice how betrayal never looks like the movies? It's not lipstick on a collar, not some dramatic text thread. It's not even catching them in bed. Sometimes it's just the way someone laughs, the way your wife is suddenly a little too alive around someone who isn't you. That's how it started for me. We were at her friend's birthday. Big crowd, semi-formal, rented lounge space downtown. One of those events where the music's loud, the drinks are free, and the social masks never really come off. I saw her laughing across the room, not unusual. What stopped me was the way she leaned in, a hand on his shoulder, tilted head, eyes locked too long. It wasn't a greeting. It wasn't casual. It was interest, chemistry, something private. And I'd never seen her look at me like that, not in the last 2 years anyway. The guy, tall, athletic, corporate well-dressed. I recognized him vaguely. She'd introduced us before. An old friend from work. Didn't even remember his name until that night. Let's call him Gavin. Gavin was smooth, smiled like he already knew something I didn't, and I hated how familiar he seemed in my space. I didn't confront her that night. That's not my style. I watched, and I kept watching, from that night on. What I saw over the next few weeks confirmed everything I needed to know. I started small, came home early on a Tuesday when she thought I was stuck at a late client dinner. Nothing suspicious on the surface, but she jumped when I walked in, slammed her laptop shut like it had bit her. She played it off, said she was watching something embarrassing. I didn't press it, but I started noticing patterns. She began dressing nicer for coffee runs. Her gym bag stayed in the car overnight, even when she didn't actually go to the gym. New lingerie tags in the trash. Not my taste, not even subtle. And the final one, the humiliation I didn't see coming, was at a friend's engagement dinner. Someone made a dumb joke at the table, can't even remember what. But Gavin was there, and when he laughed, she reached out and brushed his wrist without thinking. Right in front of me, my wife, touching another man like he belonged to her. That's when I realized it wasn't a secret anymore, not to them, not to anyone at that table, just to me. I saw the looks, I saw the smirks, I saw the pity. They knew. They'd all known. And I'd been the last fool to figure it out. I left the table calmly, didn't make a scene, just stood outside the restaurant and let the cold air settle the heat in my chest. I wasn't angry. I was done. Done being lied to, done being laughed at, done being the quiet, trusting man who thought decency mattered. She had chosen her path, and now I was choosing mine. The moment I walked away from that restaurant table, I knew there was no going back. But I wasn't stupid. I wasn't about to explode, scream, or give her any warning. She didn't deserve chaos. She deserved clarity, the kind that cuts without making a sound. So I made a decision right there on the sidewalk. I would get proof. Not for court, not for gossip, for me. I didn't want to walk away thinking maybe I was wrong. I wanted it to be undeniable, final, irreversible. That week, I went quiet. No arguments, no passive-aggressive remarks, just polite small talk, fake smiles, and the occasional kiss on the cheek. She relaxed again. That's the thing about liars. They only tense up when you're unpredictable. The moment you play dumb, they get confident, comfortable. And when she got comfortable, she got careless. The first piece came on a Friday night. She left for a girls' night. Wore perfume I hadn't smelled in months. Red lipstick, no overnight bag, but didn't come home until 3 a.m. I stayed up, of course, pretending to watch TV. When she walked in, shoes in hand, jacket half on, she blinked like she'd forgotten where she lived. "Oh, you're up?" she mumbled, heading straight for the bathroom. Not a word of explanation. Saturday morning, she was all smiles, made pancakes, wore my hoodie, said she missed me, said we should go hiking soon, even suggested a road trip, just the two of us. It was guilt, and I smiled back. I nodded through it all, even kissed her forehead, but I wasn't hiking with her. I was walking her into her own confession. Sunday, I called someone I hadn't spoken to in 2 years, my brother-in-law. He's a quiet guy, works in security logistics. Not exactly a friend of mine, but he always liked me better than her. I just said this: I think she's cheating. I need to know if I'm wrong. He paused a beat and said, "You're not." Just like that. No hesitation, no surprise. He'd known, for weeks, maybe months. Apparently, Gavin wasn't subtle. He'd shown up to events uninvited, drove her to family brunches. She'd even brought him to a charity auction she said I was too tired to attend. They weren't hiding it anymore, just shielding it from me. and nobody said a word. That night, I didn't cry. I didn't rage. I just sat in my car in our driveway for an hour, phone off, head resting on the wheel, breathing. Not because I was trying to calm down, but because that's the moment I let the man she used to know die. By Monday morning, I was calm. Too calm. It's easy to feel like a ghost when you know someone's been treating you like one for months. She didn't suspect a thing. If anything, she thought we were finally connecting again. That's the word she used. Connecting. It made me laugh. Silently, of course. I wasn't connecting. I was collecting. Every lie she told I stored like a receipt, and I began documenting. Quietly. Ruthlessly. Started with the little things. A hoodie in the laundry I'd never worn, and didn't fit me. The work event that was actually a wine tasting 2 cities over. Her call logs from the house phone where the same unsaved number popped up every 3rd day at the same hour. I didn't need technology. No hacking. No cliche. Just old-fashioned observation and listening. She told on herself constantly. It's amazing how bad liars are at remembering their own stories. One night she said she was with Claire. 2 days later, she mentioned Claire was out of town that whole week. I said nothing. Just nodded. I was a blank canvas, and she painted her guilt all over me. I wasn't just gathering proof for me anymore. I wanted her to see it, to feel it, to understand that the man she'd underestimated was 10 steps ahead the whole time. So I waited for the perfect day, her birthday. She had a big dinner planned, friends, family, co-workers, even Gavin was invited. Bold move. She told me it was just a casual get-together, asked me to dress nice, smile for photos, be a good husband. I agreed. She deserved a party. She just didn't know it would be her exit celebration. I wore the navy suit she liked, the one from our anniversary dinner 2 years ago. The last time I remember her looking at me like I was her husband instead of a placeholder. She looked good, too. Too good. Dressed too tight, smile too wide, perfume thick enough to make a statement. She kissed my cheek before we walked into the venue, and for a second, I almost believed it. Almost. The room was full. She floated through it like she owned the night. She introduced Gavin to everyone, casually, like he was an afterthought. But I noticed the way her hand brushed his lower back when she thought I wasn't looking. The way he poured her wine like it was a ritual. He even had the nerve to clap me on the back and call me boss. I shook his hand, smiled, let him think I was a fool one last time. Then, halfway through dinner, right after the cake came out, I stood up, tapped my glass twice. Everyone turned. I gave a toast. I just want to say a few words, I began, about honesty and partnership. Her smile froze. Gavin stiffened. I pulled out a small notebook, just a plain one, spiral-bound, college-ruled, and I read from it. Not dramatically, not angrily, just facts. The phone records, the dates she lied about where she was, the receipts for wine tastings, hotel brunches, and car services, her slip-up about Claire's trip, the night she came home at 3 a.m. in a hoodie that wasn't mine. Each line cut cleaner than the last. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't curse. I didn't even look at her. When I finished, I turned to Gavin. You knew she was married. You still came around my house, ate at my table, laughed in my face. So here's the last laugh. Then I pulled out a manila envelope and tossed it on the table. Divorce papers, already signed. Have your fun. And I walked out before the silence could break into noise. I didn't stay to see who followed who. I didn't care if she cried or tried to explain. The proof had spoken. The crowd had watched. The mask was gone. I didn't hear from her for 3 days. Not a call, not a text, not even a half-hearted, I can explain. She must have known there was nothing to say. The moment I laid it all out in front of her friends, her coworkers, and her side piece, that was the moment her little empire collapsed. But karma? Karma's a patient collector. It started quietly. A mutual friend, someone I barely talked to, sent me a photo. It was Gavin. He was in a different bar this time, arm around a new woman. Same smile, same playbook. I didn't even need to ask. The friend just typed, he's been doing this for years. She wasn't the first. She won't be the last. Apparently, she was just one of several. He dated and cheated on 2 other women in the same circle. And now that the truth was out, her invitations dried up. She wasn't the victim. She was the punchline. She showed up at my place a week later. No makeup, hoodie, looked like she hadn't slept. I didn't open the door. She stood outside for 15 minutes crying, talking, begging. I listened through the peephole. Every word was a symphony of too late. I didn't mean to fall for him. I thought you didn't love me anymore. It wasn't supposed to go that far. I didn't respond, just walked away and let her speak to the wooden brass between us. The divorce went through fast. She tried to fight for alimony, but when my lawyer pulled up the timeline and the evidence, she folded, didn't get a cent. It's been 8 months now. I hear she moved in with Gavin for a while until he ghosted her. Now she's renting a studio and focusing on herself. Good for her. I don't hate her. I don't wish her pain, but I do wish her silence. Because when someone burns their bridge with you, they don't get to complain about the water being cold on the other side. And as always, thanks for watching, like, share, and let's know what you think. See you in the next one. Peace.